Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Connie from The Painted Photographer, and we're here this week again to do another thrift flip. I was on vacation. I didn't get to go to my favorite thrift store. And when I got back, I had to run to town to mail packages on that next Monday. So, of course, I needed to stop and see what was there. Even though my girlfriend had sent me an email and said, I've been keeping an eye on the thrift store while you're gone, and there was nothing there. She said, I walked in there like 3 times while you were gone, and I came out with nothing. Otherwise, she buys me things when she knows that I'm going to like them. Nothing. So I go there on Monday, and you wouldn't believe the haul I got. Let's get to it. First off, these coasters. They're old Civil War coasters. I should probably look them up before I do what I'm going to do with them. But they were 97 cents and there are 6 of them. Look at that ornate frame on them. I have a vision for this paint inlay for these little tiny, where are they? These little tiny bunnies and chicks, and I think there's a lamb in there, to be on the center of these. Let's do that at the end. You can watch. We'll get some of this big stuff out of the way. So this picture frame, I have a spot in my house that I want one of those long picture frames of the old vintage looking cityscapes or farm country or just sepia looking, you know what I mean? I don't even know what to say, what they're called, but I need to find one. And I thought if I don't have one that I can buy, maybe I can make one. So I don't know. But I knew this frame would be perfect. But it was $1.98. I can paint the frame, take that stuff out, and put my long sepia vintage looking cityscape in here. And then guess what happened? I got it home and I looked at it and I think I like it. It's got torn edges all the way around it. I think it just needs the frame updated. What do you think? There's a glare. But look at, it's like it's a botanical print. And it's spring. So I don't think I'm gonna get my vintage cityscape. I think I'm going to fix this up. So let's do this at the end also. A welcome sign. I always pick these up. They got good frames, 68 cents. It has the hanger on the back. It even has a tag still on it yet from when someone made it. They put a really good hanger on here. They did a really good job. It just needs a facelift. I'll sand this off because if there's ever writing or printing on a board, as soon as you put a coat of paint on it, you're gonna see that pick up and you're gonna see that layer. So I'm going to sand this off so that the welcome is completely gone. And then maybe a new spring IOD transfer will go on here. This blue teal frame, I liked it. It has some natural distressing to it. I think I gotta paint it because these corners are pulling apart unless my husband can make those go together. Not sure. But anyway, it was a really good, chunky, heavy frame. And it has the little clips here, so I can put something in there and then just clip it back. And it has 2 hangers, one this way and one this way. Did I tell you? Oh, it didn't have a price on it. She charged me 98 cents. I said, okay, I'll take it. All right. Some sprinkling cans, 38 cents. a little galvanized one, 29 cents, and then a little bit bigger one, 98 cents. We're gonna do something with the IOD release on these too. For spring. Just this plain old wood box. I had thrifted it a while ago. There's a couple things in here I had to throw in just to make it a little bit more of a haul. This was one of them. So, and I also have an idea that I needed to complete this with. Like let me tell you so you can look forward to what you're gonna see in the video. I hope you can look forward to it. So we're gonna put an IOD inlay on here, a little spring inlay, and then we're gonna glue it on the face of here. But I'm gonna paint this. This is gonna be painted. It's gonna be all pretty and springy. And maybe even put some new molds on this box. So I had to find a wood box because I had that vision in my head and I knew a wood box would work perfect. So I pulled that out of my stash. Otherwise, all this other stuff came from the thrift store. On Monday, 49 cents. It is a frame with a flip out easel. It does have a hanger here. It has a hanger here. What I'm gonna tell you is if you paint something and it goes this way, take that hanger off and save it. That's worth this 49 cents by itself. So we're gonna fix this up. 49 cents. I am a terracotta pot lover. I pick them up whenever I find them. This one's new, 28 cents. These two are brownish, old. It looks like somebody tried to paint gold on that one, 18 cents. They're a little bit taller, but there's my little terracotta pots. If you followed me long enough, if you followed me last summer, I was on a terracotta pot frenzy. I was like getting them all over the place. So I hope that this spring is the same thing, because I'll take more. I have these salt and pepper shakers, and they're just white. And I didn't look them up, but I'm sure they're worth something, so I probably won't do anything with them, but they're from Cook's Club, Taiwan. So I'll look them up first. Otherwise, can you just see a new IOD transfer on here, or maybe even the gold one on here? You know me and my jars, and they just happen to have one. 69 cents for this, and it has waffle print above the bottom. The bottom is solid, and it has waffle print right there. I don't know if I'm keeping this for myself or if I'll let you have it. So check the website. It was in the Valentine stuff. So I don't know if my girlfriend's seen this and she thought, she isn't gonna do anything with that. But all I can think about is summer and flowers and patio and being outside and having some angel or wire vines falling out of these, hanging on a shepherd's hook. Isn't that sweet? And then maybe some good finish on here. Obviously not red. They even came with the little plastic liners that are inside there. So we have to spray paint this because we don't have to, but it's just gonna be easier. So I need the weather to warm up a little bit so I can finish this. So it'll be in an upcoming thrift haul. A wall pocket, a metal wall pocket, 18 cents. It came with this goofy stuff right here, which I don't need that, but they're metal stars. I might be able to use those later on. But it's a little metal wall pocket that's shaped like a pocket. This would be really cute with a IOD transfer on it as well. Oh, I knew I had another terracotta pot. So this one is new also. It's 39 cents for this one. It is just a little bit bigger than those. I don't do anything with them. I just put them on in my potting hutch that I have on my porch. I put them in there and I stage them and I just look at them. And I'll age this one up a little bit because I don't like them new. Okay, a cookie jar. and it's from Cook's Club again, made in Taiwan. This one was 99 cents, and they might be not worth a thing. I have no clue. I will look them up before, maybe not. Even if I look it up, I might still put a transfer on here because look at how beautiful this surface is for one of those new spring transfers. Ew! And I have a second one. This one was 89 cents. So 2 canisters, 2 different sizes, 99 cents, 89 cents. They're gonna get some kind of makeover. Then this doesn't fit very well. It came with it. I don't know if I want it or not. I can see painting this and putting some spring IOD on here as well, maybe a mold, and making it look real aged and crusty looking. It's 29 cents. I can definitely experiment with 29 cents. Otherwise, my campfire marshmallow label is going to work perfectly on here. So we'll see what I do with this. See, she said there was nothing there. It must have all waited for me to come back. Yeah, 2 people told me that there was nothing there. These were 18 cents. So I picked them up because I thought this was before I was finding all my other stuff, but I still kept them. I thought that it'd be a good surface for putting the new IOD spring release on and checking them out. So we might use that Trimmings 5 mold and make these over with the Trimmings 5 mold. And that would be really sweet. So Trimmings 5, maybe some transfers, maybe a mold, we'll see. But there are 6 of them and they were all 18 cents for 2. So 9 cents a piece. A wall basket. It's flat. Thought it was coming apart over there, but it's not. That's just how it's made. And then it had some chocolate bunnies stenciled on the front. I'm gonna cover those over. And actually, now that I think about it, this might be the perfect surface for one of these. Oh yeah. Or maybe one of the vintage brooches molds on here. We'll see what I do. But this is that thin wood, and then it's got the thick wood on the back and on the bottom. 48 cents for this one. And then I happen to find a second one. It's a flat basket. It's got a handle on it. These work perfectly to, there was something gaudy on here. I took it off because I should have left it on because that's probably why nobody was buying it, because there was this big gaudy bow with a rose on the front. It was terrible, but I can see past that, and I just yanked that sucker off and took the hot glue gun and got the glue off. And I am going to paint this to mask that spot right there, but it's going to be sweet. And this was 99 cents, but they hang them on their front doors, or I have a door on my porch. I hang them on the door on my porch, just a fake door on my porch, and it makes good decor. A couple more items, and then we're going to get to a few projects that I'll make over for you, and we will wrap up this video for the week. And if you find any of these thrifted finds that you would like, you can head on over to my website at thepaintedphotographer.com, and I'll ship them right to your front door. I've been having so many people reach out to me and purchase some of my thrifted finds. You make me so happy. It makes me so happy to share these deals with you. I get the good deals and I pass them on to you. And I just really, really enjoy sharing them with you. So head on over, take a look at that webpage and see if you can find anything. Or if you need any DIY or IOD products or the Painted Photographer rice papers, you can head on over to my website as well, and they're all listed there. It's a one-stop shop for all your crafting needs. So thepaintedphotographer.com. Next up, we have this just metal basket. This is perfect for spring. It has a yucky little mint lip on it. All I think I need to do, oh, it looks like somebody fixed it right there. So maybe I do need a little bit more work. I was just going to update this little trim with a better color, but it looks like it's going to get a full makeover because of somebody fixing the handle, but they did a really good job. That must be like that JB Weld. They did a good job. Another tin, $1.47, plants. Right now, my brain goes to planting outside. If it has a hole in it, put a plant in it. Right here. See, how sweet is that? Not, you know what? You can't buy a regular flower pot for what you can find at the thrift store. $1.47. You can't find a pot this big for that kind of a price. So if you go to your thrift store, look for things that have a hole in them and you can put a plant in there. That's what I'm gonna do with this one. It's gonna get a paint job. It's gonna be fun, refreshed look, and it's gonna have a plant in it. And it's probably gonna be mine. Sorry, guys. I can keep things for myself when they go outside. I have room outside. I got plenty of room outside. Not so much in my house, but I got plenty of room on my patio and porch. Thank you all. I will see you at the end. We're gonna do some makeovers and I'll talk to you in a little bit. And then I have this. Isn't she precious? I'm sure my girlfriend, if she would have seen this, she would have picked it up. Almost positive. But maybe she doesn't think that it's my style. But it totally is for spring. Or you could paint it solid white and then it'd really be my style. But I do like its eyes. They did a good job painting the eyes and the nose. You got this flower ring around its neck, which, you know, you could cover that up with an IOD mold too. But I'm gonna sell it on my website. Wouldn't this be cute with flowers in it? So I have a sprig of flowers that I also got, but it's too long. Did you know the easiest way to make your flowers shorter and stay in the bunch and not have to cut them apart is just turn them over on the back side of that stem. Now they are still a bunch and they'll fit right in. Did you know that? Then you don't have to do the styrofoam, you don't have to glue them in, you can change it out, but look at how sweet that is. This is adorable. I love it. For project number 1, we're going to make over these sprinkling cans. This one's just got some ribbon on it. They only glued it right here on the end. So we're just gonna pull that off. And we'll take a heat gun and remove that little bit of glue that was right there. And then we'll also take these price tags off. They were 38 cents, 98 cents, and this one was 29 cents. So we're gonna give these a coat of paint. I have some DIY black velvet paint that we're gonna put on this plate. We're gonna coat these sprinkling cans with a little DIY paint. Then we're gonna add some Saltwash. Saltwash is a powder form and it actually makes your paint thick. And this is gonna give us a little texture on those sprinkling cans, watering cans, and make them look more vintagey, more old looking, like we're probably gonna rust them up a bit, but I needed some kind of base that actually has some tooth to it. So you just keep mixing this Saltwash into your paint and it's going to get a little on the thick side, kind of like a brownie batter would look. And I'm even okay with not totally mixing it in because all of that is going to be covered up anyway. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're just gonna stipple the paint on like this. The Saltwash is going to act as a primer, and it's gonna really adhere to this shiny metal that we have going on here. So you're just gonna stipple, make some heat. You're gonna make some peaks and valleys and give this whole can, all three of these cans, a little bit of texture. After that texture fully dries, then I went back in with the DIY tarnished pearl and I went over the top, not making sure that I hit every single area. It's okay if you have some of that black showing through because we're going to distress it back to see some of that black anyway. So this is going to grunge up these brand new sprinkling cans so they look really good. Now we're going to use the new IOD spring release. This is called Spring Blossoms. It's a paint inlay. This is going to work perfect on this sprinkling can right here. And what the paint inlay is it's actual paint, and you're going to press it right into the paint that you put onto your project. So there is a couple great designs in here. I've used a couple of them already. I've actually also been putting them inside people's packages just as a little surprise when they order from us. And so some of these are already gone, but I do love this paint inlay, and some of these bunnies are going to work perfect on these small little sprinkling cans that I have right here. So I cut them all apart, and now we're going to just mist the back side of that paint inlay, and I went and I put more tarnished pearl onto the sprinkling can, and then I laid the paint inlay right on top of it, making sure that you adhere it all to the can and make sure that it's completely sealed down there, and then you mist it with a little bit more water and let it sit until it dries. Now you'll see that in the end some of these cans didn't work out like I had wanted. They were a little bit more not full images than I was expecting. I think it was due to the texture that's on some of these cans, because you can see that I'm pushing this paint inlay in quite a bit, but it doesn't adhere like it should have. But it's okay. I fixed it in the end. So some of those paint lines, I didn't want it to look like a square, so I wiped some of them off. All the paint inlays have dried completely. Now you go ahead and mist them again, making them soften up so that you can peel back this paper. And this is the best ever when you peel back a paint inlay. It's the funnest process, but you can see that this one did adhere. It's just not as vibrant as it should be. And then this is the one where it all didn't, my image is not clear, but it's okay. We're going to fix that and it's going to be good. But look at this little pink one. Isn't that just the sweetest little thing? And then for the next ones, we just went ahead and grunged them up a little bit. I squirted them with water, and then I took some layered chocolate DIY paint and just let it drip down. And I'm giving them an aged look, like that transfer, that inlay has just worn off naturally. So that's what I went and did with this. I didn't realize I didn't film the Summer Crush, but I did the exact same process with Summer Crush to make it look like rust. And now I'm taking the clear wax and just going over the can with the clear wax. And now you have some pretty vintagey looking sprinkling cans.
Love like wildfire, I was your entire world until I stood alone in a store.
Next up, we have these 9-cent craft eggs that I bought at the thrift store. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint them in layered chocolate to cover up those bright colors. And then I went with my tarnished pearl again, and I painted with my paint blade. This is an IOD paint blade, and I've been trying to get this back out of my stash and actually use it because I do like the way that it gives you some more
textured surface versus a paintbrush. So you just go and put some paint on, and then take the paint blade and move the paint around. And it's going to give you a more handmade painted look. And that's what I was going for on these eggs. And I have one paint blade set left. It's on my website, so you can head on over there and check that out if you're interested in using one of these paint blades. So the next thing I did with these eggs is I had the spring medley paint inlay again from IOD, and I cut out a bunch of different patterns and I used them to go on to the eggs. So I'll let you watch that process.
I watched you walk straight out of that door. Promises got lost in the dust. Your boots by the door. You're not coming home. Love like wildfire. I was your entire world until I wasn't anymore. Oh, heartache, you left me behind. That's not a man, only a coward. Gone now, you're chasing the wind. No longer my man. You're just a cow. You're just a cow. This place is a ghost town, dressed in moonlight. I whisper your name, can't get any sleep. Smoking cigarette after cigarette, I watch them burn until I forget we're through. Baby, tell me what to do. Promises got lost in the dust. Your boots by the door. You're not coming home. No, stuck in a ghost town, dressed in moonlight, where I still keep the porch light on. Oh, heartache, you left me behind. That's not a man, only a coward. Gone now, you're chasing the wind. No longer my man. You're just a cow. You're just a cow. Love like wildfire. I was your entire world until I stood alone in a storm.
You said let's jump on the bus and take a ride downtown. Well, I don't know about that, but can you help me first to get these boxes down? Well, I don't know about that. We have the whole day now just to ourselves, so we can clean the house or clear out some shelves. You said whichever you feel like doing first. I said, well, I don't know about that, 'cause it's my lazy day, just wanna lazy away. Ain't gonna do a thing for the rest of the day. You can try to seduce me, make me wanna play. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Let's call some friends over for a game of poker or so. Well, I don't know about that. Or should I turn on the TV or the radio? Well, I don't know about that. There's a whole list full of all the things we can do, but I wanna do none, wish that you did too. So you can just keep trying and I'll just keep saying, I don't know about that. 'Cause it's my lazy day, just wanna lazy away. Ain't gonna do a thing for the...
Now that we've got all the paint inlays onto the eggs and they have dried, I'm going to take this IOD Crackle stamp and the IOD ink and disguise those lines a little bit, and just giving these a bit of a texture look to them, and making them look even better. So I did a lot with these eggs. I didn't think that I would do this big of a project with the eggs, but after I had gotten them crackled, I wanted the edges to be dark. So I took the stamp pad and I went around and I got the edges dark and made that pop a little bit more. So they actually, they're looking kind of good. And I went and sealed them with the liquid patina. And you have to be extremely careful when you're using a paint inlay when you're sealing them, because you will smear that paint. So you have to make sure that you just barely touch your brush onto the paint inlay, and it just goes right over the top of them. Don't go back and forth, just go one time over the top of that paint inlay so you do not smear it. You will be very disappointed if you do. So like I said, I went and added a little bit more to these. I used the Pentart Crackle, two-step Crackle. This is from L&J Goods. I will put a affiliated link in the description below. You use the step 1 and go right over the top of your project. So you can see that it's a little white. It will dry clear. So I went and I did kind of a heavy coat, and went with random brush strokes because I didn't know how it would crackle. You can see that they dried clear. Now I'm going to go with the step 2 part of the crackle. You do not want to touch these when that one part is on there. They are sticky and you will see your fingerprint. Ask me how I know. So the step 2, I just went right over the top. Again, pretty random brush strokes. And then I dried it with a heat gun to make some of that crackle show up. And look at the crackle on there. But now you have to turn it in the light a certain way, otherwise it won't show up. So we're going to take the DIY dark dust and we're going to push it into those cracks. So we have the crackle stamp, and now we also have the crackle compound on the top. And so I took the dark dust and without even any wax, just took it onto the project and pushed it into those cracks. So now you can see those cracks show up even more because that dark dust is getting down inside there. So I went ahead and scraped what I could off because I'm going to just push it onto the next project and not waste a thing. So this component, this crackle component, is from L&J Goods. She sells Pentart products, and I do have an affiliate link that I will put in the description below if you'd like to get some of this Pentart product. It was really, really fun process to do. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I did a lot more to these eggs than I thought I would, but in the end, they turned out really well. This is the clear varnish that goes over the top to make them look all nice and pretty shiny and seal everything right in. So let me know in the comments what you think of this project. Did I spend too much time on them for the little 9-cent egg that they are, or was it worth it in the end?
Take me back to the old dirt road where Mama and Papa used to go. Let's sing all them songs from a long time ago and pine for them old days of yore.
Now I have these Civil War coasters that I did look them up. I could not find anything on them, so I just went ahead and painted 2 of them. I'm not sure if I should be painting them or not, so we're just going to do it with these 2, and I left the other ones not painted quite yet. So I went in with my layered chocolate again. filling over top of that image that was there, and then went over with my tarnished pearl and painted the entire thing in the tarnished pearl. Tarnished pearl doesn't have as well a coverage as some of the other light white colors, but 2 coats and it was perfectly fine. They were covered in 2 coats, and I do like this pearlish, grayish looking white that you get. And I went and distressed them back so that you can see some of that pretty wood coming back through again. And there, we're going to go in with the paint inlay just like we did on some of the other projects.
Leaves on the trees, let me fly like the leaves when they fall. Well, let my mind go serene like a cool water stream that runs from the mountain so tall. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road.
I sealed them up with the liquid patina as well, and then I went in with some clear wax and just went over the entire project with clear wax. And then I took that dark dust again and went over top of the project with the dark dust, which the dark dust will then melt into the clear wax, and then you just take a cloth and you buff it back off. And if it's too dark, I wanted it a little bit lighter in the center, I just took some clear wax and it used as an eraser. So here they are. One is waxed and one is not. So I told you I had a couple of projects in mind. This box was one of them. I went in with the Anvil Cottage Colors in DIY. This is a 1-step paint, and I knew if I put on this Anvil color, when I went to distress it back, it wouldn't move. So I'm putting on that tarnished pearl again and using my paint blade. This time I'm going to show you a little bit more of how you can get some of that texture look using the paint blade. I just pushed it all around onto the box on all 4 sides, and then I let that dry. So I want the first coat on here. It doesn't really matter how the first coat goes on. This is the clay-based paint, which is going to reactivate with water, but the cottage color underneath will not reactivate with water. So I put the paint on there, the second coat, and then I took my paint blade and I'm scraping it around, and I'm scraping it onto the sides of the box. And as it's drying, it's getting chunky, it's getting thick. And that's what I wanted. I wanted it to start drying, and I just keep moving it around and pulling it back up, pushing it back down, and it's getting, I don't know, thick texture, paste-like. And then I just keep pushing it back down onto the box, and it's giving it that real grungy look to it. So just pull it off, put it back down. If you don't like how it pulled off, then put some more paint back down on there, and you're just going to get this real nice grungy look using this paint blade. It's so much fun compared to a paintbrush. You have to try it. After it dried, I finished it up with some clear wax, and then I also went in with that dark and decrepit dust and did the aging process on this box also.
Let's go back a ways to the old bygone days and the simple time we lived back when. Well, let the pull of the plow bring the sweat from my brow, and the glow of the fire pull me home.
Here we have this plain basket with this hot glue that made a stain on there. I'm going to come in with my tarnished pearl and randomly give this basket 2 coats of this tarnished pearl. And I like the wood color that's coming through, so I made sure that I didn't cover it all up. So this is a really quick way to make over a thrifted find into something that will look extremely good in your decor. After everything was dry, I went back in with the clear wax, and then I also used the dark wax and used the dark wax to go onto the basket, and it kind of darkened up that wood a little bit, and it also made dark edges where the texture was. This basket is really, really pretty. It would look great hanging on your door.
In the sweet dusty haze, take me back down.
This is the next basket that I said I had an idea for. Those bunnies needed to be updated. The whole basket just needs a good update. I went in with the aviary DIY paint, and again, didn't make sure that I got everything. I do like the wood kind of popping through, and it saves on your distressing time if you just don't paint all of it, and you don't have to distress back and get some of that natural distress look. I did go with a baby wipe, and I did distress some of that back and get some of those edges of that wood to pop through and give it some more age look. And after that was finished, I went in with my clear wax, and it darkened up that aviary color. It will dry back a little bit on lighter shade, not as light as when the paint was on there by itself, but it is a beautiful color. Then I used my dark dust again and filled in some of those cracks and edges and got that natural wood color to darken right up. This project the update is amazing. Let me know in the comments which one of these projects was your favorite, because I don't know that I can choose. I think maybe this green basket is really, I really like the way that it came out, and it was such a simple project to do, and it just turned out really, really sweet. So let me know in the comments, and if you need any of these products, you can step on over at thepaintedphotographer.com and I'll ship them right to your front door. For my last and final project, I had this welcome sign that needed a little bit of an update. It was really good bones. The frame is perfect. It was just needed a little bit of an update, and I sanded off that welcome to make sure that that lettering didn't pop through. And I went and give this 2 coats of cake batter. I do love this color, cake batter. It's a really nice spring color, and we're going to make a garden sign out of this welcome sign now. So I used the tulips, peonies, roses, daisies stencil and just went into the center where that word welcome was, and you're gonna see that I did not take enough time to offload my brush. When you stencil, you want to make sure that you offload your brush, because otherwise you'll have leaking through, which I did. So we're gonna fix that, and I'm gonna show you how. I went and with a small little liner brush tried to fix my letters as well as I could wherever I had the leaking coming through, which didn't make my letters nice and sharp. You can get really sharp letters, just have a little bit more patience when you're stenciling. Not like me, I was in too much of a hurry to get this video done. But I went with my liner brush and went over the entire thing, closing up those gaps so that it doesn't look like a stencil anymore. Then I took it outside and I sanded it. Now I'm going to take the distress stamp. You can buy this now in a 4-pack. It has 4 different distress stamps all together, which if I wouldn't have this one and the Crackle, I would totally open that sucker up and use it for myself. But you can purchase it for all of your distressing that you're going to do. So I just distressed over this entire sign, and then I took the Lost Garden paint inlay, or the Lost Garden transfer. That's what it is. It's not a paint inlay, it's a transfer. And it's got some beautiful images. And in the back, there's a couple little pages where they got some just smaller. So I went and cut this in half, and then I just stuck it on two sides of my garden sign that I have here. And then I would cut some edges flatter, stick some pieces in there, going around the entire sign, just filling in wherever I thought some could be. So I figured out how to get rid of some of these areas. So I just sprayed water on it, and then I went in with my paint scraper and I scratched off the excess paint. So now where it was all messed up, now it just looks like it's very aged. So here is the finished product. I did add a little black to the edges of my sign just to give it a little bit more age, but it all turned out so pretty. I love all of these projects and they look so good together. Are you ready for spring? I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy painting.
Time with you by my side.